other different types of dementia, and depending upon where the difficulties lie, that in the illness determines the course of treatment.
Yes, you can. All you have to do is want to do it.
Yes.
Want to be it.
When you set your mind to it, and this is who you are, and
the grown men. We have the youth that we need to mentor, and we need to inspire, and we need to motivate. But I know, as a recent conversation between you and I, that you're also in the business of motivating grown men. Through that, I'm supposed to see God in it at every turn. So me going to the Sea of Galilee was to remind me of that, to refresh myself of that. It is all under control, that He does have it. It's just as clear as that fresh water that I saw.
Your Our Unity, hosted by LaShawn Walker, Tuesday nights, 6 p.m. Guesty.
Welcome, everyone, to Our Unity, a show that wishes to spread a spirit of peace and love in the world, one conversation at a time. We want to encourage you to get out there and vote. Thank you. If you haven't already done so, please go out and let your voice be heard. It is the most impactful thing that you could do for yourself as well as your community. I am your host, LaShawn Walker, and this is my co-host,
Selene Ferdinand.
Say it again.
Selene Ferdinand.
We'd like to welcome you into another wonderful episode of Our Unity. Please like, share, and follow. Let everyone know that we're on. Please share, tag a friend. Let them know, right, that we're on talking about some important stuff tonight, right?
Yes. Super important.
Well, it's so good to have you here again, Selene. It's been a while.
Yes.
The last time you were here, actually, you weren't feeling quite well.
Yeah.
You had so much to share that day. You wanted to talk about, obviously, your send-off, because soon you'll be leaving for the National American Miss pageant in Florida. So I'm so excited to have you here today.
Thank you.
No problem.
I'm so happy that you invited me to.
Of course, of course, girl. You are always welcome here. Well, you know, I haven't seen you also in a while. There was a couple of events that we were supposed to go to together, and unfortunately, I was sick for like the whole month of October, Selene.
Yeah.
It was crazy. I was under the covers. I couldn't smell. I couldn't taste. I was just dealing with a lot. And I also had, you know, some moments of sadness and stuff because, you know, it's the fall season and you get into a fall funk. But I am out of it now. I am fine. I am ready to tackle the issues of November. Yeah. Can you believe it's the first week of November?
I know, and I'm so excited because my birthday is literally tomorrow, and I'm so hyped that I'm turning 11 because I feel like I've been waiting forever because I've like a late birthday.
Oh, wow. I totally understand that, actually. I have a late birthday as well as in January. Yeah. So I, you know, typically start celebrating probably the beginning of September. Yeah. Because I know it's coming. It's fast approaching. You know what I mean? Yeah. So have you started celebrating already?
Well, not really, but tomorrow, as we were talking about, I'm gonna go on the talk show with Marjorie at Guggen Cafe, and it's like, since it's their show's 11th anniversary, and it's also my birthday, we're celebrating together at the Guggen Cafe.
I love that. Well, happy early birthday, my friend.
Thank you.
I am so happy to be part of this milestone birthday. 11 is an important number. It really is. It is a number that, you know, you just dream big. It's that number that shows you are the one. It is that number that just opening the door to the number 12, which is fast approaching as well. So I know you can't wait for tomorrow. And yes, we will discuss a little later about the event that's going on tomorrow at the Guggen Cafe. So thank you for being here. The last week and the first week, rather, of November, I had, you know, all of
these tasks that I wanted to get done because of the fact that October I wasn't able to accomplish much, not feeling very well.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, the first week I just stepped into it and I had my whole to-do list planned and ready to go. And then something in my spirit was saying something just didn't feel right, So, I've been on this journey, this self-discovery, self-improvement, and also this journey of staying lit through the darkness. My spirit was telling me that I needed to declutter. Have you ever thought about decluttering at all? What that means?
I don't know what decluttering means.
It's getting those things, out of your space, whether it's
Yeah.
mentally or physically, that is suffocating you, holding you back, something that is not serving you. It could be material things, it could be those thoughts in your mind, it could be anything that is not making you feel light,
Yeah.
at peace, airy.
And I feel like, especially right now, since I'm going to nationals, I feel like I'm feeling that a lot because there's so many things that I have to get done in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
And we're packing and we're getting all this stuff ready. And to go to nationals, which is so exciting,
Yeah.
but there's still so much to do.
No, I could imagine. And that's how I looked at it as well. It was a matter of me taking these things out of my space that was going to allow some clarity, that was going to allow me some time to work on those things that were important and do it productively,
Yes.
Like you have all these things going on and obviously you want to make sure that you prioritize everything. So in prioritizing everything, it means that you have to get rid of a few things that is not necessary or serving what your goal is. And so that's what I was doing this past week, honestly, is just removing those things that was not, helping me with my goal, helping me on that path to completing it and also starting it. Because sometimes, you're going through so many ideas and so many thoughts in your mind that you don't settle on one clear idea at that moment. So that's what it was for me. It was decluttering time. It was in my spirit. And then this young, beautiful, amazing, spiritual young woman that I've met actually, shared it with me too. She said it was in her heart that I needed to declutter. So it wasn't just my immediate space, meaning my home. It was also my mind. And it's just been on that meditation journey that I'm on right now, just quieting my spirit and my soul and my mind and just letting, just beautiful ideas and creative thoughts to actually enter in,
Yeah, and I feel like sometimes everyone needs that space to just chillax little, have a self-relaxation time for themselves.
Yeah.
Because although it's great to think about others, but at the same time you have to put yourself first before you can treat others because you still have to be well too.
Exactly. You're absolutely right. And that's important in that decluttering as well because we spend so much time trying to fill the voids in everyone else's life and be of service to someone that we neglect, the things that we need for ourselves. So it's so important that we also declutter those tasks, those, events that we're supposed to go to and show up to. If we've exhausted ourselves and our minds and bodies are not, feeling filled and feeling happy and feeling joyful, then it's time to remove a few of those things. We should try to support and show up for everything, but not when it's at the detriment of our own health and our happiness. You know what I mean? So that's what I've been doing as well as taking time to kind of clear up my workspace, We're running businesses. You're a business owner as well. So I know that we collect so much stuff throughout the year and we want to hold on to everything, obviously, because it, has significant meaning to our mission and as well as the fact that a lot of people give us beautiful things. So how easy is it for you to kind of keep your workspace clean?
Well, sometimes it could be a little frustrating, especially since through all the fashion shows and all these different fundraisers that we've done, there's so many stuff that we have left over from it, like all the backdrops and all the stuff for it. But I feel like sometimes we have to get rid of some things, but we could also reuse them. And cause I have the Meeraempowerment backdrop that I reuse at most of my events because I feel like it's not wasted, but it's there for a reason.
Yeah, no, I totally get what you're saying, and that's basically what the decluttering also means. It's making room and organizing. You know, you don't necessarily have to throw out everything, but you have to reorganize it in a way that it appears efficient. You know that you're going to be using that backdrop, you know, at all of your events. So you put it somewhere where it's accessible, but also in a place where it's not, you know, distracting or where it's causing any type of room issues, you know, where you can't maneuver around and stuff. So that's where I'm at right now. It's creating this space that, you know, is productive but also proficient, and a space that I'm able to actually think, because that's really important. You want clarity when you're, you know, coming up with these creative ideas and you're manning your businesses. So it is so important that we both do the same, because I know business women, we got all kinds of outreach, you know, information that we share and things that we give. We're always collecting so that we can help others, and the space sort of gets minimized rather quickly. So yeah, that was my message this week. It was declutter. I'm still doing it, honestly. I think it's going to probably take this month for me to, you know, get all, you know, that I need to get done accomplished, but I'm excited about it. I really, really am. And I think, you know, more importantly is that I'm excited about the declutter in my mind. You know, coming out the last month and being sick that whole time, you know, I had so many things going on, and I was distracted by the real inaction of these things because I wasn't feeling well. So I had a battlefield in my mind.
And I feel like when you try to be more organized, and I feel like it doesn't feel you're so clutched in. You feel like more like free, and that you could do so many more things, except for like be clutched in all of this work and business just piled up on top of you.
You're absolutely right, because it does weigh you down. It really, really does. And it makes you lazy as well. Like when your space is cluttered with just useless and useful things, depending on how it's organized, it can weigh you down. It can give you a sense of inaction and you know, the desire to even want to motivate you to do anything. So yeah, it's definitely important. So I hope that you guys out there have taken some time to declutter. It might not be a lot, you know, it could be your little office space. It could be your desk. It could be your bathroom, the little drawers, because I know everyone's got, you know, like an everything drawer, because I have one, and honestly, someone just cleaned it out, and I don't know where they threw out all the stuff that we probably still need, but I won't know until I actually need it. But the fact is that it is time to just clean out any space that is not serving your peace, right?
Yes. And especially since like all the holidays are coming around, and you're gonna have people over and stuff, and I feel like you need that space to just be happy and enjoy the holidays with yourself. So I feel like you have to like make that room for it.
Exactly. And you don't want people talking about, you know, your house being all cluttered and stuff, like you're living like a hoarder. So please, we advise you to declutter. And if you have started already, drop it in the chat. We want to know about what you are doing to declutter your mind, your body, and enlighten your spirit. So we mentioned it's the first week of November, but today is a very special day, right?
Yes.
Today is November 7th, which is Election Day. Yeah.
Yes.
So, you know, I didn't do too much but declutter. Honestly, I was organizing, I was cleaning, I was doing things in the home. But Selene, you have been doing so much. So I figured I would let Selene, my queen, take over the Unity in Community segment. And you're going to share with us what you've been doing in the community, why it's important that you've been doing what you've been doing in the community, and why you are upset that I wasn't part of it. Okay? So that's what we're going to do right now. So this week in Unity in the community, It's about community pride. Community pride is what my beautiful queen, Selene, has been just flourishing over her community in the past week to 2 weeks. And honestly, you do it all the time. That's really what you do. You're a community leader and an activist, and I love your missions and what you stand for. Community pride is the title of this particular segment. And this week in Unity and Community, I have you there at the breast cancer walk.
Yes.
Yes, tell me about that.
A couple weeks ago with Michelle Solage, she hosted a breast cancer walk where we walked around a park. But this walk means so much to me because I've experienced it through my family, because I've lost a lot of people due to this. Because I recently lost my neighbor, and she's really close to me. She was like a second mother. So it's really close to my heart too.
Yeah,
Yes.
I know exactly what you mean. I went to a few cancer charity events in September, and maybe one in October when I peeled myself out the bed. I don't remember. But cancer it's real. It not only affects obviously the person, but it also affects the family.
Yeah.
And so it's so important that we bring awareness to it, especially breast cancer, very prevalent in women. I wanted to be at that the walk. I was at the one last year with you guys. That was Michelle Solage, who actually throws this breast cancer walk every year, right?
Yes.
You've been going to it, what, for the last 11 years? How long have you been going?
Last year was actually my first year going to it, and this year too. But I feel like although I haven't gone to it for as long, it still has a meaning in my heart for it.
Yeah. It's really so important that we bring awareness to first getting ourselves checked. You're a young woman. These are things that you're going to have to be worrying about. I remember when I was growing up, they didn't really, feel that you needed to take advantage of these tests and these screenings until you were over 50 years old.
Yeah.
But it is clear now with further research and information that we need to get checked early. There's so many, young ladies at 20 and 30 years old that are getting breast cancer. So it's important. And I know you miss your neighbor. I remember when your mom was telling me about it. So I'm glad that you were, honoring her in that moment at the breast cancer walk. That was beautiful. Yeah, that was great.
You.
So what do we do next? That is the Girl Scouts, because you are a proud Girl Scout.
Yes.
Are you still, what are you, a brownie still?
I'm actually a cadet.
Ooh, nice.
Yes.
And what does that mean exactly?
So, last year I was a junior in Girl Scouts, but this year I'm a cadet, so I'm a higher level.
Wow.
But at the event of the picture you just saw, it was at the airport, and Girl Scouts, we went as a group, all the troops across Nassau County, and we got an amazing experience there. And we went on a plane, and they drove us on the plane around the airport. We didn't go up into the air or anything.
Right.
That would be cool though. And during the whole experience, we got to meet all the pilots, as you can see in the photo. And what's so funny, I actually ran into one of the pilots who was actually a former National American Miss Queen.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Look at National American Miss creating, is it a pilot or was she a flight attendant?
She was a pilot.
A pilot. That is amazing. Do we have a picture of her there? Is that her?
No, I don't think that's
Okay, that is awesome. Oh my goodness. So, seeing her in that role and knowing also that she went through the National American Miss pageant program.
Yes.
Do you see yourself maybe one day being a pilot? I mean, you have a lot of things that you aspire to be, my friend, and you're very talented at so many. But can you see you adding that to your list?
Personally, I don't know, honestly, but I feel like it doesn't really best pursue my interests. However, it is super cool, and the things that they do too, because we also got to learn how to the manuals in the pilot seat, and there's so many buttons and things, but we learned to use some of them. They let us pull the lever thingy, and honestly, it was such a great experience, and I could tell that National American Miss put so much into her, and I feel like I could accomplish the same goals too.
I love that. I love that. And I love that not only is, she's a young woman who is doing such an amazing job that most women don't seek to do as a career. And the fact that she had National American Miss there, as her foundation, to guide her along the way, and all those things that, they instill in you young ladies is basically letting you know that you can accomplish and be anything that you want to be. You don't have to just be a flight attendant if you're a young lady. You can be the pilot. I love that.
And that's also to prove that National American Miss does empower young ladies that they can do anything they set their minds to and accomplish all of their goals.
Yeah.
And I owe most of my accomplishments to National American Miss, creating my own nonprofit Meeraempowerment, and everything that I do in my community.
Well, let me tell you, National American Miss obviously just teaches you young ladies how to fly.
Yes.
And I love that. I love that. Now, you went with the Girl Scouts. If we could show that picture again, that was a lot of Girl Scouts there, my friend. So what, this was Nassau County Girl Scouts? Or this was, I can't believe that this was just your troop. So how many other troops do you think were invited?
I'm not sure exactly how many troops, but it was the Nassau County group, not only my troop.
That is so cool. Do they give you these types of excursions to go on, these special type of trips regularly?
Not regularly, but every once in a while, because Girl Scouts have given us a lot of opportunities to take part in, but also really fun activities, because one time we went, I think it was last year, we went to medieval times and we got to watch it live, and it was really just an experience that I would never take, I would always want to take it back to rewind it.
Yeah.
But it was just a special experience that I could just spend with my Girl Scouts.
Aww.
And the food and everything was amazing, because they gave us a whole big chicken.
Oh my goodness gracious. They knew you guys were coming. That's what it was. And they wanted to make sure they fed you well so that you'll come back. Well, I'm so glad that you got an opportunity to fly to friendly skies, even though it was just a plane that was sitting on the tarmac. But the fact is that you got an idea of what it feels like to be in the cockpit. So I think that's amazing. And it was a bunch of beautiful young Girl Scouts that were there, getting an education and information on what it is to be a pilot as well as a flight attendant, and what it takes to be in aviation at all, right? Yeah, that's really cool. So you also, saw you in an outfit with the firemen. What was that about? Where did you go, and how did that come about?
Actually, that was also at the airport where the stuff is, and that's actually the American Airlines fire department and the truck too. But apparently that's the closest you could actually get to the truck. So it was really amazing.
Nice.
And the jacket stuff is also really heavy, but I prepared myself because in school, one of the teachers, Miss Lettingberg, she's a firefighter, and for career day, she let us put her jacket on.
Oh, wow.
So I was prepared, but it was really heavy too, especially the helmet.
No, I could imagine. I didn't realize that was at the same location, but that is so cool that they introduced you to these different workforces,
Yes.
So again, you were with the Girl Scouts, and obviously you had a great time. National American Miss pageant is coming up very soon. Are you excited? Because in all your pictures, I see you're wearing your sash. Is it opening up doors for you, my friend? Are you meeting the rich and famous because you are the PreTeen queen?
Yeah, because this Miss New York title through National American Miss and all these things I've been doing, it has opened lots of doors for me, and it really has inspired me too, and shown me that I could accomplish so many things. Like I met the a present National American Miss Queen at the at the American Airlines,
Right.
which I feel like that inspired me even more, that I could accomplish so much.
Yeah, no, it's very, very true. And I know, this road that you're on, you don't take it lightly. And you
Yes.
know the type of doors and the networking and the type of people that you can meet. But more importantly, what it's going to instill in you and how that's going to help you for your future.
Yes.
I know that it encouraged you and inspired you to start Meeraempowerment.
Yes.
And that's been around for quite a few years now, right?
Yeah.
Your organization is primarily, for those of you out there that don't know, what is Meeraempowerment?
Meeraempowerment, it is a nonprofit that inspires the youth in my community that they're never trying to make a difference, and that they can use their voices and actions to make a true difference, and that they could do anything they set their minds to, and even create their own business too.
Yeah.
And we also do fun fashion shows and different fundraisers to raise funds for the American Cancer Society and to also help stop hunger and homelessness.
Yeah, I love that. I love every mission that you're behind because it's important for the community. We have children in our community, we have the elderly in our community, we have the homeless in our community. We have so many different people that make up the area that we live in, that we want to make sure that they all feel whole, that they all feel fulfilled, and that they all are being served, equally. So I'm so glad that that is on your platform for Meeraempowerment. Well, I know that you align yourself, with so many people in your community that speak to your shared values,
Yeah.
and that those, organizations and those community leaders and those local officials, mean a lot for the progression of your organization as well,
Yes.
and that the partnerships are very important, right? So that's what we're talking about today, really, is the community and how us coming together to build better communities by us getting out and actually letting our voices be heard, which you so beautifully stated a little while ago.
Yes.
So we said in the beginning of the show, today is election day. We should be out there voting.
Yes.
I didn't vote yet, but I am making a mad dash out of here after we end to go and vote. And I advise all of you to do the same, because today we're going to discuss the importance of voting and why you should be the first one on the line if you haven't already done so. So voting is important, not
Yes.
only at the presidential level, but also at the local level. We agree on that, right?
Totally.
Yes.
Because although it's not big national elections, but it's in our community, and I feel like it's very important because you need to let your voice be heard so that the person you're voting, they're making a difference for you and your families, so that they put your priorities first.
Yeah, that's what's important, actually. That's
Yes.
why we vote in these local officials, to make sure that they're listening to our concerns and what our issues are and what's important to our family and our community as a whole. So I'm glad that you said that. So I know that they're teaching you, because it's important that we also have a curriculum for the kids. Somewhere you can emphasize on the knowledge of politics.
Yes.
Also, you can gain critical thinking as well as understand civic mindfulness. And you're already doing that in your school. I believe that you had student council elections just recently.
Yes.
And you were trying to get voted in as president. Am I correct?
Yes. I think just last week we had our student council elections at school. I sadly did not win, but the person that did win, he will do a great job as our student body president, and all the other candidates, we all did fantastic. However, although we may not have win, we're still part of the student council and can make a huge difference in our schools.
Yes.
And we still work together as a whole big team, and we'll always have each other's backs as student council reps.
That's what's important. That's what we all need to do. No matter who wins, as long as we're on the same team and we share some of the same issues and values that we want and the things that we want to see accomplished. So, in speaking of that, what were you running on? What were some of the issues or the changes that you wanted to make for your student body?
Well, I wanted to make two two things that I wanted to do as a student council was vote for no smoking and vaping signs at my school.
Nice.
Because last year there was a lot of like vape and smoking like ends and shells and stuff, and I feel like they shouldn't be doing that on a school property where there's still children on the grounds.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's not really as good for a elementary school, like especially.
Right.
So that's something I wanted to do. And I also wanted to raise funds for the Light the Night organization, which is an organization that supports those with leukemia, lymphoma, and it's a type of blood cancer. It's not the cancer that my family has, but it's still a type of cancer, which makes it still important, very important to me.
Yeah.
And all those have suffered, and I've actually lost a friend too.
Wow, that's nice. I'm glad that those issues are important to you, and I'm sure that they all heard what you were trying to bring across to them. Let me ask you, in terms of what did you find was most important to some of the kids in the student body? What did they really want to see happen, change, learn, or have within your school?
I feel like they wanted to make like a positive impact, and so that I remember one of the kids, I think their presentations, they said that they wanted to like inspire all the future, like, because third grade was also watching, and they said they wanted to inspire the others that they can never be too shy to run and vote and to be that positive inspiration in their school.
That's amazing. That's really, really nice.
Yes.
I'm surprised. You didn't hear anyone talking about, longer recess or better lunch or
Actually,
some candy like every hour. Like, you didn't get anything like that?
actually, some people did put that in their presentations, but really that's not possible because they can't do that in the school because we can't get longer lunch or recess and stuff.
Right.
But yeah.
So knowing that these issues are on the table, and again, you want to make a great environment better,
Yes.
in your school. And I know that already, from, previous administrations, that those things have happened. And I'm sure that a lot of your voices are being heard.
Yes.
So in these elections, are you also, like meeting with the teachers to create sort of, maybe a curriculum that will teach you about the politics outside of student body, your school? Go ahead.
Well, it also depends on our goal and the project we're working on, because student council, we meet twice a month, and if we have any concerns or things we want to address, at each meeting we'd tell and share with our other student representatives anything that we need to change or we have concerns with.
Wow.
So if like for the no smoking and vaping signs, that is something that we're gonna have to take out with the school, like advisors and
the
administrators
yeah.
and stuff. So I feel like that's also something we could learn in student council too.
Yeah, no, I love that. And the teachers are getting involved with your missions as well, right?
Yes.
I love that. So the gentleman that was voted in as president, you are going to work with him. You guys
Yes.
are going to back him, and you're also going to, support him in his efforts as well, right?
Yes.
Now, we know that, we're in this world where things are just not that simple. It really isn't. And as we mentioned, it's the general election. This is the local election time where the things that you need in your community, which the important issues are the economy, taxes, crime, drugs, economy, income inequality, school safety. And your issue falls under school safety. You want to make sure that you don't have, any of this paraphernalia around that is not only, just an eyesore for the community, but also encourages other kids to want to partake in it, correct?
Yes, because I feel like it's also really important because since we're in Elmont, it's like a huge jump from 6th grade elementary to 7th grade high school. And I feel like since in elementary school, there's such big differences in age from the pre-Kers to the 6th graders.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's things that we have to still keep like kindergarten and pre-K friendly.
Yeah.
And I feel like we need to make that difference and to like for the older kids to set an example for the younger ones too.
Yeah, that is so true. That's what we should be doing even now, you know, with the adults. I mean, you're not old enough to vote, you know, right now. You have to be 18 years old. But did you know that the first woman or when women were able to vote is only 103 years ago?
Yeah.
Literally. That to me is really, really sad. But it is incumbent upon us that we take advantage of that privilege and that right. So just tell me, because I know your mom is so involved in the community, and I know that she is very passionate also about, you know, just the values of the community and sharing and supporting, you know, just your organization, but also whatever help she can offer to others. So tell me a little about, you know, your affiliations with some of the local officials in your area, what you love about them, what you see in them, and how you think they're making a change.
Yes. Well, I've been supporting and activating for Carrie Solage, which and I feel like he's made such a great impact and difference in our community. And he also he speaks for the children and everyone in the community because he makes an impact, and he is not only that person that's all the way on top in all politics and stuff. He acts like he's a friend, and he's one with the community and is always there to support us in anything we need or need help with. Because he's always there at all my fun fashion shows and Meeraempowerment events to give citations to all the ambassadors and the people who are partaking in them.
Yeah, no, I love that. I love a community, local government official who gets involved.
Yes.
And I mean gets involved and not just for picture taking moments. I mean when it's time to get down and dirty, and that they're there to support and that they're there to help and they're wearing the clothes to match the task.
Yes.
So I love that you said that. I'm not here to promote any particular candidate. I don't live in your neighborhood, but I'm glad that you do, you know, have a place in your heart for him. And I'm sure, you know, your family, you know, loves him just as much as you do. But I think that it is great that you see those traits in him, and those are the things that you admire about him. How important do you think it is that, you know, your values and your beliefs match up with the official that's running for office?
I feel like the officials that are running for office and me, I feel like we both want to make an impact in the youth in our community and to lead that pursuance for all the young kids and for actually everyone, so they know that they could do anything no matter how young they are, and they can pursue all their dreams.
Yeah, that is absolutely right. Well, the dreams, you know, can be pursued. You just need the support of your local government, because they have to make sure that you have the resources and tools necessary for you to thrive, those programs and initiatives that are important to that growth and that development and the creativity that you have to share with the world. So it is so important that we choose these representatives that speak to our current situation. My current situation, folks, is taxes. My taxes are just too high. And I'm also interested, obviously, in the youth. And I want to make sure that you guys have every resource available. And you don't have to live in a certain neighborhood in order to get it, so that you can fulfill those very dreams that everyone
Yes.
tells you that you can accomplish. So how important is it that you have these programs, like, you know, the STEM program, that you have after school programs, that you have mentoring programs? These things are important to the community. Our local officials are so responsible for how those things come to be. How important do you think it is? And if you could speak to, you know, a politician out there, a local one, what would you ask them?
Well, I feel like it's really important for all these after-school programs, for STEM and all these things, because they help us with our future jobs and everything. And there's also things that may be very close to us and things that we may find fun and interesting, like 3D printing or Lego robotics. Because last year I actually did 3D printing because I felt that it's just another way to express my way of art, but in a digital form.
Right.
Because I feel it's different and unique because I can make different artifacts and things that could represent me, and then we print it so that it's a physical sculpture, and it's just really a great experience. And it's important because all this stuff we'll learn, and all this stuff we'll learn in the future too.
Yeah, no, I love that. And how important, you know, would you think it is for the local officials to know that, you know, your education and you know, just all of the options that you could possibly have that can help that, you know, your academic life become successful? How important is it that they sort of pour into that they contribute to that in some way?
I think it's important that they contribute to that because although they may not be going to school anymore, they still must leave an impact in all the youth so that they could see that everyone can make a difference and is helping them, is there to support them throughout all their journeys to develop and be just the person they have to be and want to be.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I so agree with that. I mean, you are the future, you know? Yes. You are the legacy that the other generations are leaving behind as well. And we need to make sure that we're giving you all the tools that you need, all the information, and also showing you what those paths look like, you know? Yes. So I'm glad that you said that. And it starts with the youth. You are going to be the ones to make the real changes in this world. So we should just set you free to do so. Yes. So in seeing what's going on in your neighborhood, or seeing what you know is important to your mom, what specific issues, if you know of any, that you know you would be concerned about as an adult that you see going on in your neighborhood now?
There's not really any that I'm like extremely concerned about, but I feel like there should be like more programs for those that can't like have access to them, because there's tons of different programs and stuff besides after school stuff that you could just sign up and then it just be done with. Because throughout the years I've been given different like opportunities, like I got the opportunity to play golf, and that's not something that all kids could have the access to. But there's a program, it's called the T, and I feel like it gives more access to those that maybe like cannot get as much of it to them. Yeah,
no, it's really important, and I'm glad that you said that, because that's true. A lot of these programs, you know, afford these kids in these underserved communities with the ability to, you know, take part in activities that they normally would not have access to. So I love the fact that that program is there, and we need these local organizations that are offering programs and initiatives like that, and we need the local officials that speak to that want to encourage those, or getting grants and things of that nature. Yes. So, you know, we know that it's not the presidential election, which everyone shows up for usually. Half the country will vote in, you know, a general presidential election, but we have very small numbers when it comes to the local election. In the city right now, they're voting for, I think, voting for Superior Court judges and lawyers, as well as council people. And here, the same. Our local election, we're voting for the town supervisor, town clerk, the receiver of tax, and also the council member seats. Now, these people speak to everything that we're hoping to receive in our community, whether it is, a beautification, the infrastructure, whether it's, lower taxes, whether it's even just school, what's going on in school. We want to have a safer school, but we also want a school that has a great curriculum. So that's what we're voting for today. We're voting for people who are speaking to those things that the local community needs at this moment. So you mentioned there's nothing specific right now that you're concerned about. I mentioned that my particular issue right now is taxes. And so I'm looking to hear from, a candidate who understands my plight, understands, how high taxes are, how that is affecting my family and our ability to grow and flourish, and the ability to save as well.
Yes.
You're concerned about, the vaping, which I think is so important. That falls under school safety. And I think it just goes all back to, the real community really is about empowering our youth and making sure that they have access to everything, but they're also not burdened with the problems and the issues of the past.
Yeah.
And so it is important too that you keep your eyes open and your ears listening to those different candidates out there and what they're speaking to. And clearly, Councilman, Assemblyman Solanges is speaking to that, right?
Yes.
So in the future, what do you think, any issues that you would be passionate about, especially being a woman, number one, and especially being a business owner? You're living in a community where you want to be able to come back to. You want to be able to have a thriving community that is successful, that you don't feel like you have to leave. Because a lot of people grow up and they move away from where they grew up at. Why? Because it's not giving them the opportunities that they can otherwise receive in another bigger state or bigger city. Yes. So for the future, like you being this business owner in Elmont, repping Elmont, and you being such a huge product of Elmont, what would you like to see in the future, like a ballot issue?
Well, I would like to see more opportunities for the youth to create more businesses like me, because there's not a whole lot of children that does what I do. So that's why I want to start inspiring the youth from now, so that when I get older and stuff, and I might move on to bigger systems and everything. Mm-hmm. I still want there to be different community organizations and businesses that are still big in Elmont, because Elmont, it's not a popular community, mm-hmm. and it's a very small, but it's still like a family. Yes. And supportive community that I love personally, and I'm so grateful for Elmont.
I know. I love that you have that community pride. I really am. And they come out and they support you all the time, and I love that as well. But I also think it's because you're really out there in the community and you're doing the work. You really are. Yes. And you're supporting those, not just, those politicians and other business owners, but the disenfranchised, the people that are actually in that need of something, and you're trying to fill that gap. And I love that. And I think that every community has that opportunity and should take advantage of it. It shouldn't just be that we're coming together to vote during the presidential election and not coming together as a community when it is local elections. We need to get out there and meet each other. We need to figure out what's important to one another. We need to get into these community meetings and find out what is also going on in our communities. How is that impacting us and impacting our children and their future as well? High taxes, going to keep going up. You know, everything is getting expensive. The economy is bad. It's, you know, we're in a big, huge divide right now. And within ourselves is just being human, you know, and it's really sad. And what I feel is that we need to bring along and align ourselves with those people who have that compassion in their heart, that love in their heart, and that desire to help and make sure that everyone is living a happy life.
Yes.
Right? Isn't that important?
Yeah, and I feel like, especially through like voting and stuff, you also have to like vote for the right people so they can represent you and bring all your needs and questions to attention.
Yes.
So that you and all your families, they could have the proper equal lives, and so that we all live as one big helpful community to each other.
Yeah, yes. And that's how the community thrives. That's how the community just develops a sense of stability and a solid foundation. When we all come together and we all work together, not necessarily for the same goals. I mean, we all are different and we're entitled to our different opinions, but we should be all working towards the same goal in terms of our people. No one's issue is more important than the other.
Yes.
Right? And we need to find common ground when we're discussing these issues and when we're tackling these issues. And I'm so glad that the student council election kind of taught you guys that, you know? You don't necessarily always have to be the winner. You don't always have to agree on everything. But once that person is chosen, once that leader has been spoken, then you do your best to find within, you know, their value system and their platform where you fit in, where you can help, and how you can support or even change. Because again, we're dealing with a lot of people with a lot of opinions, so we can kind of use that opportunity too to sway one's opinion, right?
And especially through student council, throughout the couple weeks, I've learned that although we may not, and all the other class reps haven't won, we still are gonna learn off each other and still make impacts in our community, although we may not have that superior title.
Right. No, I get that. I love that. So I know your mom voted early.
Yes.
And we're all excited about the results tomorrow. As I said, I did not vote yet. I've had a very busy week. I intended to do it, and your mom tried to yell at me too about me not voting on Sunday. But I've had a very busy week decluttering, if you remember. Yeah. So unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to do it, but I am. As soon as we're done today, I'm going to get out and vote, and I advise everyone out there to do the same. As we mentioned, you know, local voting is so important. The local officials that we vote for help make decisions about the issues involving schools, public safety, transportation, zoning, land use, and environmental protection. And we need all of that right now.
Yes.
This world is going to be left to you guys, and we need to make sure that we're leaving it to you in good condition and in fair condition. You know, it's important for your growth and your development as well. Yeah. So knowing that obviously you can't vote now, you can still participate somehow in keeping the vote, or at least keeping in line or keeping in contact with those that speak to what your heart wants and what you desire and what your family desires as a whole. So even as a youth, there's things that you can do. Every kid out there can contribute to this democratic system by doing a few things. And you could do this throughout the year. And honestly, you've been doing it already. To help kids, we must commit to advocacy. That's basically it. And you do that.
And although we may be kids, I feel like we could still speak to our fellow adults that are allowed to vote to things that we think maybe make a difference. And we could like persuade them to maybe vote for something that may be right for everyone, including the youth.
Yep, you're absolutely right. So, to make your voice be heard, which is what you said earlier, you guys can also be informed. Be informed is actually educating yourself on local politics as well as national politics. You need to know what's going on in the world world, how it's going to affect you, and how it's affecting people right now. Like, what is the climate of the world? What are the different issues, and what are the different stances, the different opinions? You need to also dig into that. Watch the news, read a newspaper, speak to your parents. You see things going on TV, ask deep questions so that you get a better understanding of what's going on in the world,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Yes, I love that. And you also can get out and talk to people. I know for the past few months, actually, you've been supporting your local assemblymen, Solanges,
Yes.
and you've been going to different events. Tell me a little about that real quick. How do you support your local council person?
Well, I come out to all the events, and especially because when I come out, I'm promoting him, but he also still, as I'm trying to help him, he also helps me and exposes me to everything.
Yes.
As like last year, I came to one of his events, and that because I introduced myself, and I met all these other well-sophisticated business people that had found so much interest that I was so young and still made such a difference.
Yes.
And I feel like it's also really important to support those in your community that will make a difference and that are making a difference.
You're absolutely right. So the way that you can do that is, as she said, you get out there, you talk, you go to your local school, you can speak one-on-one with the politicians as well.
Yes.
And you can make phone calls for them, as well as volunteer. That's so important. Making these phone calls, showing up at their campaign, going door to door to outreach and share what your local council person is actually speaking for.
Yeah.
So I love that you've already done that. I really do.
Thank
Well,
you.
as you heard, ladies and gentlemen, voting is one of the most important rights and responsibilities of citizens in a democracy. Local elections determine the leaders and policies that directly affect our daily lives. Local officials make decisions about issues involving the very things that we discussed today. So I want you guys, as Selene and I mentioned, please get out there and vote. It is important that we do so, and we must be the voice also for the voiceless. There's a lot of people who just can't speak up, don't want to speak up. We have to speak up for them, and this is the moment to do so. So Selene, I want to thank you so much for being here for this very special episode of Your Our
so
Unity.
welcome.
Wasn't it awesome?
Yes.
I appreciate it, my friend. So I want to share with everyone out there. Tomorrow is Selene, my Queen Selene's birthday. Happy birthday, beautiful.
Thank you.
We're going to be at the Caribbean, what is that? Caribbean meetup, basically.
Yes.
It is the radio station, WHPC, that will be going live tomorrow. And I believe you're actually going to be on the show as well, right?
I will be on the show because it is also my birthday.
Yes, congratulations. What a
Thank
beautiful,
you.
beautiful honor for you not only to be at that event, it's going to be hosted by, I believe, Long Island's #1 or the nation's #1 college radio station, WHPC by Marjorie and Kednar. And it's going to be a Caribbean theme. So if you guys have a moment tomorrow, come down to the Guggen. It is at 7 o'clock and it's in Elmont. So thank you so much, Selene, for being here.
You're so
and
welcome.
sharing everything that's been going on in your world, okay?
And also, I'm going to bring up one more topic.
Sure.
As we were talking about voting today, today actually starts the People's Choice voting for my competition. And so you could reach the link at my Instagram, the NAM New York PreTeen, and to make sure to vote for me so that I can continue representing my state, but on a national level.
I love it. I love it. We are rooting for you, my friend. She leaves soon to go to Florida for the pageant. So congratulations, and we wish you so well here from the United Unity Show in my heart, okay? All right, so we're going to get real quick to the Dare to Be You. And the Dare to Be You is, community is much more than belonging to something. It's about doing something together that makes belonging matter. And that is our message today. It is important to vote. It matters if we vote. We need to get out there and share in the values that we all hold so dearly, and make sure that we're standing up for those very things, and that we're putting the people in office that speak to those values as well, to make sure that our kids are well taken care of, they have a great education, information available to them, and also that we're living in safe environments and not spending a lot of money to live there. So I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Your Unity. I'd like to thank my co-host, Selene Ferdinand.
You're so welcome.
Thank you so much for tuning in, and please remember that peace and love is in the palm of our hands. So let's go out there and be some love, give some love, and share some love. We will see you next week on Your Unity. You have a wonderful night. We love you, and we'll see you soon. Good night.
Strong Island Entertainment.